Good morning, students. Am I audible? Am I audible? Okay. Only three parties. Okay, two of you have joined. What about the others? Okay, we will not wait for them. Okay, we will start the class. Okay. So I think last class we had some network issue, so we couldn't continue. So we will start from from the beginning. Okay. So open channel flow. See, when we talk about open channel flow, we have different types of open channel flow. Suppose you can consider a river as an open channel flow. Then the drainage you have seen in day-to-day life, those are also open channel flow. You can say irrigation canal, those are also open channel flow. Why it is called open channel flow? Because one part of the channel is exposed to atmosphere. If you consider the drain, if you see in the upper part, we have open space which is exposed to atmosphere. Okay, which is exposed to atmosphere. So this is why this flow in that particular channel is called open channel flow. Okay, so whereas if you see in a pipe, it is a close from all the side. Okay, so that's why it's called pipe. Okay, that is a basic difference. In open channel flow, your one part of the water exposed to atmosphere, and because of this, the flow in that particular channel, it flows only because of gravity. Okay, only because of gravity. Okay, so basically we have two types of channel. One is man-made and one is artificial. Okay, so when sorry, one is man-made or one is natural channel. So in open channel flow, those are canals, drain. Okay, those who are man-made. Okay, we have a definite shape. If you do the draw the cross section, if we design a drainage system, it may be your rectangular channel, it may be your trapezoidal channel, it may be your semicircular channel. It depends on, okay, but we have a definite shape. This is trapezoidal, this is your rectangular, that upper portion is exposed to atmosphere. Okay, okay, the level of water till here. Okay, till here we have the level of water. Okay, similarly here also. Okay, but in natural channel, if you consider a river, we have a irregular shape. Okay, so we don't have any definite shape for a river. Okay, for a river we don't have a definite shape. So that's why that our natural channel are more complex than artificial or man-made channel. Okay, understood? Natural channel are more complex than your artificial or man-made channels. Okay, so you can write it down. Open channel flow. The passes in which the liquid is not completely enclosed by a solid boundary. That means our top portion is exposed to atmosphere. We don't have any close, that channel is not enclosed completely. We have a space, okay, but has a free surface exposed to atmosphere is called open channel. Okay, those things you have already studied. Okay, we are just discussing about the basic things, then we will move on. Okay, and sometimes it also called free surface flow because we have a free surface. Okay, okay, so here next topic you can write types of open channel flow. Okay, types of open channel flow. Okay, so your first, you can see your natural river is also a type of open channel flow. Then you have irrigation canal, you have drains, okay, sewer systems, culverts, okay. So those are your types of open channel flow, or sorry, it's an example of open channel flow. So suppose your natural channel is an natural one, river, you can say it's a river. Drain, it's a like man-made. It may be rectangular in shape, it may be trapezoidal, and so on. Okay, you can write it down. Okay, one is your natural channel, one is your man-made. Okay, or artificial. So in artificial we have drain, irrigation canal, sewers. Okay, and in natural we have only one, that is our rivers. Okay, so moving on to the next topic. So what are the different force that acts in open channel flow? Okay, so we have already discussed that main component is gravity. Okay, and what is W sine theta we will discuss later on. Okay, now we are not going to discuss what is W sine theta, we will discuss later on. Only you remember the main component of open channel flow is gravity. Okay, then we have inertia force, surface tension, but mostly we neglected that surface tension. Okay, mostly we neglected that surface tension. Then we have viscous force, and last we have friction, friction resistance. Okay, definitely when there is a flow of water, there will be a friction with the boundary. Okay, so we have a friction force in opposite direction. Suppose if we draw a cross section, sorry, a channel section. Suppose this is your channel, this is the level of water. Okay, this is the level of water. So you always remember in open channel flow, the water always flows from upstream, or you can say higher elevation to lower elevation. Okay, suppose here your RL is 100, here your RL is 40. So water will be moved from 100 to 40. Okay, in this direction. Okay, so mainly it goes with gravity component in this direction, and because of this boundary, this is our bed of the channel, this is our bed of the channel, we will be having opposite resistance, that is called our friction. Okay, which resists that flow. Okay, So these are different types of force which acts in open channel flow. You can write it down. One is your gravity, inertia force, surface tension, viscous force, and force of resistance. That is that is you can write friction factor, or you can write friction force. Over. You have any doubts regarding this? Different types of forces. You write down the forces. Okay. We have five forces. Over. Can we move on to the next topic? Okay. 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 So next topic is your difference in open channel flow and pipe flow. Okay. See, this is your closed conduct. Okay. Or you can say closed pipe where water is flowing from this direction from higher to lower. Okay. But in pipe also, if you see in your buildings, okay, your pipeline, we have to put some extra force. Okay. Like pump. Okay. Then only it will go to your overhead tank. Then again you can use the gravity component to flow of water. Okay. But to reach that in your terrace, that water tank, we need to pump it out from the ground. Then we need some extra force that is used by pump. Okay. So in open channel flow, it's not like that. Okay. Whenever there is a elevation difference, then only the water will flow. Okay. And as this is a closed one, that's why you can pump out from the water from the underground to the water tank, which is at a higher elevation. Then the water is flows to your basic needs. Okay. Under gravity component. Okay. Understood? So this is one difference which you cannot do in open channel flow. Okay. So these are so if you see, we have this thing, total energy line. Okay, total energy line. So what is total energy line? Energy line. Okay, suppose this is your channel. Suppose consider this is a river. Okay, this is the bed of the river. Okay, this is your bed of the river. Okay, and the level of water is this. So water is flowing from a higher elevation to the lower elevation. Okay, now here in this point your RL will be different, above mean sea level. Okay, here also your RL will be different. Okay, then only the water will flow. So we have to measure total energy for one section and total energy for the other section. Suppose this is a river flowing. So we have considered one section here, and then we travel some distance, and then again we are considering the other section. Definitely that elevation difference is there. That's why the water is flowing continuously from section 1 to section 2. Okay, any river you consider two section after some distance, suppose x meter. Okay, so this is your section 1 and this is our section 2. Okay, so you have any doubts? See, these things are a little bit complicated. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, you have understood. So this is your river. This is the bed of the river. Okay, and then the water is flowing from higher elevation to the lower. This dotted things are like water is flowing. Okay, so this is the level of water which is exposed to atmosphere. So that's why this is called free surface. That's why this is called free surface. Okay, see here it's written free surface. Okay, so total energy line is nothing but you have to add three components. One is your velocity head, one is your pressure head, another one is your datum head. Now this is your level of bed. Okay, so beyond that how we have a line. Okay, so this datum line is nothing but an imaginary line from which we are going to measure total energy for both the sections, suppose section 1 and section 2. You're getting my point? We have two sections And for both the section, we have considered one reference line from which we are going to measure total energy for both the section. Okay, it's just a common line from which we can start to measure the total energy, because we need datum head. So for the datum head, we have to measure the head from a line. Which line, or from that line should be same for both the section. Okay, that's why we consider one imaginary line, that is called datum line, beneath the earth. Okay, that line as an imaginary line which is beneath the earth, because we are considering that line after the bed level. Okay, which is beneath the earth. Okay, just an imaginary line from which we are going to measure energy in both the section. Okay, so to find out total energy, we have three components. One is velocity head, you can write it down. Okay, plus pressure head plus datum head, D, datum head. Why I'm considering this is head? Because all the units for each, suppose that z value, z1, we are going to measure from here to here. This will be in meter. Okay, then this is nothing but your depth of flow. So depth of flow will be always in meter. And the last what you have seen, velocity head, that is v square by twice g. If you substitute the velocity unit and the acceleration due to gravity unit, you will get the unit meter. So that's why we are talking, or we are saying that it's velocity head, though it's energy we are calculating, but we are calculating in terms of head, the total energy in terms of water head. So whatever the total energy you are going to get, that will be also in meter. Okay, am I audible? So the total energy we are going to calculate, that is also in terms of meter. Okay, so basically people make mistake here. When we talk about energy, they thought of that unit is joule. Okay, so here in this open channel flow, in case of open channel flow, your energy we are calculating in terms of head, that is this much meter of water. Okay, head means the unit is meter. Always remember this total energy is in terms of meter, because all the terms unit is meter. This is also in meter, that y value is also meter, and z value is also meter. Okay, okay, so this is the total energy for section 1. Similarly, if we add all the parameters for section 2, we can find out the total energy also for section 2. What is the use? We can find out the loss of energy between two sections. When the water flows from one section to the other, how much energy they have lost, because there will be a resistance, or you can say friction, to the flow. Okay, when water is flowing from this upstream to the downstream, how much energy they can lose, we can find out like total energy for first section minus total energy in second section. Okay, very simple. We can find out the loss. How much energy have lost from moving section 1 to section 2. Okay, any doubts? So you ask your friends, okay, those who have opted this subject, if they have less than 75%, they are not going to allow for seat in the exam. Okay, so kindly you convey that message to your fellow friends, who those who have opted this subject as an elective. Okay, and ask them to attend the class from the next lecture. Okay, 102. No, I'll take the attendance. Okay, 102, 114. One zero two, 114, and another one, no? 95. You all are from section B. All the three of you are from section B. Roll number 102. You are from section B. Okay. Roll number 95 is from section B, right? 095.
Yes, sir. All from section B.
All are from section B, right? Okay. Okay, fine.
Yes,
So we
sir.
will see you in the next class. Okay. We'll discuss the further with the next class. This meeting is going to end very soon. Huh? So I think next Monday, we have class. Okay. We have two class on Monday. So we will discuss next Monday. Okay. and kindly convey this message to others. Okay, those who have opted this, because we have a group. I have seen that around 10 to 15 students, I think, in that group. Okay, so you ask them to join as soon as possible, huh? In the next class positively. Okay, thank you, thank you all.